You served as Home Affairs Minister. Did you know at the time that Scott Morrison was also Home Affairs Minister?
No, I had no idea that he had sworn himself into the portfolio that I was responsible for or any other portfolio.
He was holding several other portfolios. Was this appropriate?
The issue really is that he swore himself into these portfolios. There seems to have been absolutely no discussion with any cabinet ministers, but I may well be surprised to find that there were some discussions. There was certainly no discussion with me, and that's where I think that the secrecy surrounding the swearing in of Scott Morrison to those portfolios is unacceptable.
It appears that one of you did know Greg Hunt. Again, is it appropriate that only one of the ministers knew?
Well, I think any minister who had someone else sworn into their portfolio should have been consulted about that, at the very least advised prior to it happening. But in the case of Home Affairs, I did not know that it was even being contemplated, let alone that it had happened.
On election day, there was the release of text messages after the arrival of a boat asking people not to vote for the Labor Party and instead vote for the Liberal Party. Does this add a new complexion to that particular tale, given that Scott Morrison, as we now discover, was Home Affairs Minister as well as Prime Minister?
Well, there were clearly two parts to what happened on election day. One was the issuing of an apolitical statement to say that a boat had been intercepted. The second part of what happened as a result of that was the politicisation of that boat interception. So I had no involvement in the second part of that in terms of the politicisation. My role was in the request for and the issuance of a statement that was to be very factually based, just to say that a boat had been intercepted.
Now that we all know that Scott Morrison wasn't just Prime Minister, but Energy Minister, Home Affairs Minister, Treasurer, what should he do?
Well, I've made my views clear that based on what we know so far and the fact that there was a veil of secrecy, then it would be appropriate, in my view, for Scott Morrison to resign and to leave Parliament.
And what if Scott Morrison says that he doesn't want to resign, that he doesn't want to leave Parliament?
Well, that's a decision for Scott Morrison. I've made my views abundantly clear on what I think that he should do. It is now up to him what he chooses to do.
Has Scott Morrison dishonoured himself and Parliament?
I think this reflects incredibly badly on the government of the time, and I think that's unfortunate given that most, if not all, of the cabinet ministers were completely unaware that this action was being taken, and I think it has diminished Scott Morrison as Prime Minister and it has diminished the cabinet.
Karen Andrews, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much.